Welcome to the FNN Sports Zone. I'm Mike Brodsky.
And I'm Jermaine Kimbrough.
And tonight we're going to be covering all the different sports that have happened over the past week. We'll talk about NFL. We'll talk about the Orlando Magic Media Day. We're also going to cover highlights from Major League Baseball, as well as a little bit of NASCAR, a little bit of WNBA, a little bit of golf over the weekend, and, of course, some college football. But, Jermaine, you actually were able to cover your first Bucks game of the season the other just yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Yesterday, yeah. So, I mean, it was a great game, first of all. It was a hot day. It was a hot day. And so, I think the fans themselves, there was like, they always do their tailgating in the beginning, and they're, getting ready for the game, and they're doing their drinks and who knows all their other games that they play. But you could tell people were hot. People were hot. And so once I actually got inside into the box where I was able to watch this game, it started off actually very slow for Tampa.
Yeah.
And, this is Tampa Bay versus the Philadelphia Eagles.
Right.
This game was a very slow start, but Philly started off, which usually they're more of a second half team. They're usually starting slow usually. Yeah. But they just came right out the gate. Just they were able to run the football effectively. They were able to throw the football effectively. And still Saquon not doing very much like what he usually does, but still active. And Jalen Hurts he was just on it all day. All day. He had a great day. And it was all Philadelphia in the first half. All Philadelphia.
Well, especially for Hurts. I mean, he had a great first half, right? But I mean, the second half, maybe not so good.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, the second half, I mean, it was Philadelphia had stopped playing the football was how it felt, because there was just nothing. I mean, they couldn't. He was 0 for 8 on passing. They didn't complete one pass in the second half. Yeah. And somehow still finished with the win.
Right.
So,
well, I think the key was first half. He had a couple of touchdowns. He only threw for really 56 yards, but it was enough to kind of put him ahead early on, right?
Yep.
And then, of course, the second half, the Bucks were mounting a pretty good comeback. But what happened?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it was just they just didn't seem like they were. I mean, the ending where it happened was Baker Mayfield. I mean, we can all say Baker threw a pick right in the end zone, and they were there. They're on the 14-yard line. It's a 1st and 10 also. He rolls out, throws a pass, and I mean, he really didn't have very many people open. Yeah. And so it was just an ill-advised pass. And so there's a lot of controversy over that play, because a lot of people are saying, why not throw it away? Why not take a sack? And he just kind of threw it up for grabs. And I believe he was going for, I want to say it was Godwin he was going for, potentially. I'll have to look back at that play, but he felt like he had him open, and it was just a bad play. There was pressure as well. So, I mean, it's one of those situations as a quarterback, you just got to go down and throw the ball away. That's it. That's all you can do. It's first down. He had a few more chances after that, and it was just not a veteran play at all.
Yeah, it's a shame. I mean, Baker did have a couple of really impressive TD passes, or one for 77 yards, one for 72 yards, right? Yeah. I mean, Emeka's still looking great. And let's talk a little bit about the kicker. Of course, it was a very impressive kick by Chase McLaughlin. Tell us a little bit about that one.
Yeah, so Chase, everyone talks about how he's got this leg and he can hit from all these places in practice, but when it comes to the game, you're just like, okay, here it is. Here's the opportunity. What can you really do in a game situation? Right. At this point, they're down. I want to say they were down 21 points. I think it was. I want to say 24-3, maybe something like that. Okay. And they're about to go into the half. I mean, they just need anything going at this point. They can't get anything going. They just need something. Yeah. So this kick, I mean, most of us in the press box, we were really surprised that they were even going for it. We didn't think Todd Bowles was going to even let this guy kick this thing. Right. So we're thinking they're going to just try to, either heave one or do a punt. He puts him out on the field. He trots him out there. And, I mean, I guess this kick goes up. Most of us thought that it didn't even make it to the upright, but it went in. It went just over the bottom of the upright. And I mean, this is a 65-yarder. So this was a franchise record. So historic. and
Right.
also this tied for the second longest field goal kick in NFL history.
Right. I mean, the record for the longest, of course, Justin Tucker at 66. I think we've talked about him earlier in the season as well. But it was also the longest outdoor kick in NFL history. So you got to give him props for that, right?
Outdoor kick, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad you threw that in there.
And in 90-degree heat too, right?
And 90-degree heat too. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's impressive. And
Yes.
So everybody was from there. You know, I mean, and then also I even interviewed him after the game.
Yeah.
And he was taking some questions from the media,
Mhm.
and he even said he didn't even see the ball. I mean, he said after he kicked it, he lost it. He thought it went wide right, and he thought he missed it right. So he couldn't even see the ball because of how far it was. And the only reason why he knew he had made the kick was because he saw everyone put their hands up that it was good. That's the only reason why he knew he made the kick. So
Right.
I thought that was pretty interesting to something that historic. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, you're on the other side of the field at that point. But nowadays, these kickers, they're able to. I mean, these are. It's like it's getting further and further. Who knows how it's going to be a few years from now?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're going to be talking about a few other kickers because certainly field goals were sort of a big role in a lot of the games over the weekend. So we'll talk about more kicking as the night goes on, right?
This kick too, it was really something that really galvanized the team.
Yeah,
because they're going into the half.
Mm-hmm.
This really sparked that momentum to get them into motion and. Going into the half, you're like, okay, you know what? We're still down. I think it was maybe 18 points at that point. But we have a chance. We got some more points on the board. They came out in the second half, and they just looked like a completely different team.
Yeah.
Completely different team.
Yeah.
They were able to – the defense looked great.
Mm-hmm.
Like we said before, Philadelphia had a bunch of 3-and-outs. They just couldn't get anything going on the ground.
Yeah.
Saquon still didn't have a very, very good game. He only had, I want to say, maybe 60 yards rushing.
Okay.
40. I think it was 44 yards rushing he had.
Yep.
He didn't have a very big game. But also the passing game. Before, it was like all the connections. Jalen Hurts. He was able to move around in the pocket. He was able to throw the ball. It was connection after connection. And the second half, they couldn't do anything. So defense did great. Tampa Bay was able to get whatever they wanted to in the second half. Yeah. And they came all the way back, and it came down to that last play. Yeah, amazing. So final score, Eagles 31, Bucks 25. But what's coming up for the Bucks next week? Yeah, so next they are going to be going up against you know what? Let me see. I forget. While you're looking it up, we'll jump over to they got the Seahawks.
There you go, the Seahawks. Okay, Seattle. Yeah.
On the road. They're
on the road
next week. Yeah.
Heading out west. Okay.
For a 4:00 game.
4:00. There you go.
On the West Coast. So
fantastic.
So they're going to be at Seattle. That's going to be an interesting game to see how that goes. Hopefully they can bounce back. Yeah, absolutely. I guess we shall see. We'll see what happens with that one. Of course, Seahawks had an interesting victory this weekend. We'll get to that game pretty soon here. And I guess let's jump over to the Jaguars. Jaguars were on the road, and they won. They won on the road, beating the Niners 26-21. Brock Purdy returned for the 49ers at quarterback after Mac Jones filled in the last couple of weeks. But the Jags looked good. I mean, the defense continues to be just amazing. They've actually been able to force 3 or more turnovers for the 4th week in a row. So that was really impressive. They had Foye Oluokun's fumble recovery late in the game, thanks to Eric Armstead's strip sack of Brock Purdy. And Travis Etienne finishing with 124 yards rushing on 19 carries. One of the things we got to keep an eye on, Trayvon Walker, defensive end, left in the first half with a wrist injury. He didn't return. So we got to keep an eye on the injury reports and see if he's able to come back. But the Jaguars will be playing on Monday night, next Monday, against the Chiefs. That's going to be a big game. I'll be up there covering that one. So I'm looking forward to that. That should be interesting. Home game, prime time, Monday nighter. That's right, and a real test. I mean, because obviously the Chiefs have been kind of a little shaky, but at the same time, they won this weekend. So, big win for them. Very important win. So, Monday night game is going to be pretty big next week. So, kind of curious to see what happens there. That's a big one, especially for them. I mean, we're hopefully seeing a new Jags team here. Yeah. 3-1. They don't often start the season at 3-1. I think it's only the second time in maybe 18, 19 years that they've had that record. So, that's a good start. It's a good start for the Jags. We'll take it. We'll take it. Yeah, and to be honest, that game too, because of how well because of how well San Fran's been playing. the Niners have been impressive.
Yeah.
And they were undefeated, right? They were 3-0.
Yeah, they're now 3-1 after that loss. So yeah.
So even with their injuries, I mean, we all kind of felt like, okay, it's a matter of time.
Mm-hmm.
But with Brock coming back,
yeah,
I mean, they were pretty heavily favored in this
yes.
game.
Yeah,
so, being at home, I was even surprised about how well
right.
they played on the road.
Yes.
So I think, for Jags Nation and, all the fans, I know this was a huge win for them.
That was big. I mean, they've got a couple of home games coming up, and then they're going to be heading over to London for a couple of games as well. So,
a couple of games in London.
2 games in London, yeah. One where they get to be the home team, one is an away team. But we'll be talking about that as it gets closer, but that's a little later on in October. So let's talk about some of the other games. Of course, one of the exciting games this Sunday was really Sunday morning. The Steelers beating the Vikings 24-21 in Dublin. Of course, the NFL is playing a few games overseas this season and a few in Europe, including the Dublin game and then some London games coming up in the coming weeks as well. So, that was an interesting one. You had on the one hand, certainly Aaron Rodgers looked solid with 200 yards on 18 of 22 passing, and yet in Carson Wentz filling in for J.J. McCarthy, and he had 350 yards. 2 touchdowns, looked good,
right?
But again, just not enough to win. So, T.J. Watt had a very important interception in the third quarter, deflecting the ball at the line of scrimmage, grabbing it out of the air. That kind of helped a little bit. But interesting game. And, of course, the Vikings are staying over in Europe. They're going to be facing the Browns in London this coming Sunday at 9:30 a.m. So that'll be the next European game.
Yeah,
so,
I remember seeing that. Yeah. I saw it was I remember seeing Green Bay.
Yeah.
When they had the ball, I know Aaron Rodgers. I saw him fumble, he fell and he kind of fumbled the ball, but then they picked it up. It was a pretty big play.
Yeah.
And I noticed. I was like, wow, okay, so the luck's on their side for this game.
Yeah.
Because they had the last game before a couple weeks ago where the guy, the returner, he didn't even go back. It went over his head.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and then they scored a touchdown, right?
Scored a touchdown.
Crazy. That was crazy. Yeah.
Luckily, the ball bounced their way this time.
Yes.
That worked out
that's right.
My brother-in-law, he's a big Steelers fan, and so he was like, he was happy about that win. They felt like they needed that one, so he was pretty happy.
Definitely. I got to admit, I'm a Steelers fan, so it was nice to see the victory. We'll take that.
Yep.
And what about the Giants? I mean, the Giants actually finally winning one, right? And upsetting the Chargers. I mean, the Chargers got their first loss of the season, so the Giants beat the Chargers 21-18. Jackson Dart. We were talking about Jackson Dart at QB. He got the start and did okay. The first drive. Basically, he ran 15 yards for a touchdown to cap off an 89-yard drive there. So that was kind of exciting. And now it got a little scary. At one point, Dart had to get pulled out of the game for a concussion protocol test. And Russell Wilson came in for 2 snaps, including a sack in which he recovered his own fumble. So a little nerve-wracking, but maybe
to come into the game for 2 snaps.
Not when you're trying to keep your job, Russell. I mean, poor Russell Wilson. I mean, it looks like the Giants are just going to probably move on to Dart here, but we shall see. And then I guess Dart out of the short pass for his first touchdown pass in the third quarter to Theo Johnson, and he only had 111 passing yards, 13 of 20, ran for 54 yards in that touchdown in the first quarter. But the defense looked good. Yeah. That certainly helped a lot. They were really putting the pressure on Justin Herbert. So
they were solid, and they got the win. Right?
They got the win. Giants won 21-18. Yeah. So that's all that matters.
I mean, that's what matters. Yep. That's what they needed there in New York. I mean,
they
needed a win. So he got it for him.
He got it. And for the Chargers, the rookie Omarion Hampton looked pretty strong. He had a career high 128 rushing yards and a touchdown as well. So we were talking about the Chiefs a moment ago. Let's talk about that game. Chiefs 37, Ravens 20. Now that was kind of a scary one because, of course, the Ravens have now lost Lamar Jackson to a hamstring injury in the third quarter. I'm not sure how serious it is, how long he might be out, but I'm sure they're checking him. Could be.
Most of the time when that hit me, it's at least a couple weeks.
You'd think so. You'd think so. Yeah.
So let's see.
Let's hope Lamar comes back quickly. But
NFL needs Lamar. for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Cooper Rush, yeah, he was fine coming in at QB, but he's not Lamar, right? And but for the Chiefs, exciting to see the return of Xavier Worthy, right? I mean, he returned for the Chiefs. Mahomes, by the way, a couple of highlights for him. I mean, he threw his 250th career touchdown pass. That was exciting. So he actually beat Aaron Rodgers as the fastest player to reach 250 touchdown passes. That's very exciting.
Wow.
And Mahomes ended up with 270 yards, 4 touchdowns on the game. And, of course, as we mentioned earlier, the Chiefs will be playing the Jags in Jacksonville Monday night. I'll be there for the game. And let's move on to the Rams beating the Colts 27-20. I guess we found out that Daniel Jones is maybe not completely unstoppable, but
they still was close. I mean, it was a close game.
It was a close game. It was a close game. I mean, Puka Nacua continues to be on fire. He's still leading the league in both catches and yardage. He's got 42 catches for 503 yards, including 13 this weekend and 170 yards.
Already?
500 yards already. He is only the second player in history with 40 receptions for 500 yards in his first 4 games. So
I bet. I didn't realize he was at 500 already.
Can you believe it?
He played 4 games.
In 4 weeks. I know. It's unbelievable, right?
Wow.
Kid's on fire.
He's their main. I mean, he's the main.
He's the guy.
He's the guy.
He's the guy. He's the guy. So. I mean, Matt Stafford looked great. Threw for 375 yards, 3 touchdowns, including a touchdown pass, a pass to Tutu Atwell for 88 yards. Yeah, touchdown pass with about 133 to play. So that's really what kind of put him over the top there. Yeah. And the Bills remain undefeated, beating the Saints 31-19. Of course, the Saints have yet to win a game, unfortunately. Josh Allen looked good with throwing 2 touchdown passes, ran for another touchdown. James Cook had 117 yards rushing and a touchdown.
I think we all expected Buffalo was going to win that game.
I don't think it was a surprise, right?
I think everybody had their money on Buffalo.
I don't know what the point spread was, but I mean, chances
no offense to the New Orleans fans out there. I mean,
listen, I'd like to see Spencer Rattler do well.
I love to.
I mean,
love to. And he's got some talent.
He's got talent. He's got some talent. Hopefully he can, the Saints have a little bit of work to do, but they've been making improvements. It looks like they're kind of getting a little better week to week. So we'll see where they go from here.
They're remaining. You can tell they're competitive in some areas. They just need some more pieces right now.
I think that's the key. Yeah, absolutely. But Lions over the Browns, 34-10. Again, not a huge surprise there. And it was interesting. The Lions only had 277 total offensive yards, but Jahmyr Gibbs had a touchdown along with his 91 yards rushing. Amon-Ra St. Brown had 2 touchdowns from Goff. I mean, he was great. Joe Flacco, meanwhile, threw a pair of first half interceptions. In the second.
Time is about to come up soon on him.
Do you think they're going to go with Shedeur, or you think they're going to go with? What do you think? Who are they going to put in? QB.
I think they're reluctant to go. Yeah. I saw a couple articles.
Yeah.
But I do think they're reluctant to go to Shedeur still.
Right. Dylan Gabriel.
To be honest, I think that if I had to choose, I would. Think they're gonna have to go Shedeur's way because I think he's ahead of Dylan. I mean, I think the talent is there.
Okay.
I feel like they've got to give Shedeur a chance.
Yeah.
I think we got by week 6. I think we're gonna have a QB change.
Okay. We'll see if you're right.
I think so. I think give it a couple weeks. I think we're going
to see that. Well, we got some more NFL to cover. We'll be back in just a moment. We're going to take a little break for commercials and be back after these messages.
I'm not picking it up. You pick it up.
I'm not picking it up.
Well, somebody's got to pick it up.
I'll pick it up. They're clean. 'Cause my hand is clean. Oh, yeah, I'm Charmin clean. That's how I know they're clean.
Charmin Ultra Strong is woven like a washcloth and just cleans better.
Yeah, I'm Charmin clean.
The kid does have a point.
My hand is clean.
Enjoy the go with Charmin. And for an extra clean finish, try Charmin Flushable Wipes.
The Florida Lottery is proud to support education by contributing billions of dollars to Florida schools and awarding countless Bright Future scholarships so Florida students can do more than just dream of a brighter future. They can create one. Learn more at flalottery.com.
We are back with FNN Sports Zone. I'm Mike Brodsky.
And I'm Jermaine Kimbrough.
And we're going to cover some more of the NFL that we were talking about just a moment ago. Of course, we have the Texans blowing out the Titans 26-0. Good news for the Texans. They got their first win of the season. Titans remain defeated at 0-4. But C.J. Stroud finding Woody Marks for a touchdown, and Marks ran for another score. They scored 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. So exciting, I'm sure, for Houston Texans fans to see that victory.
Yeah,
right?
On the board.
Yeah, absolutely. But the Titans, a little bit of work to do, I guess. And, Cam Ward, I guess we'll see if he gets any support, or if he just has to wait for the next draft.
Yeah.
What's it going to take? I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. I know he made a comment. He had this interview when he was at the podium.
Yeah.
And he made some claim about how, I can't say it here, but he said he basically said how bad they were. And he was honest. He was like, look, we're bad. We're really bad. We're really bad. That's what I can say. That. That's the appropriate way.
Yes.
He said we are really bad. So you can go back and check that out yourself.
Yeah.
But I mean, you got to be honest at this point. When you're 0-4 now, you're not showing a whole lot of life, and he doesn't have enough as well to even help him with the protection aspect. So I think once they get that to figure it out, I think they'll be a little more competitive. Hopefully they get their first win soon. We'll see. I don't know. I have to look at their schedule, but hopefully there's some positivity in the future for the Titans.
That's right. Thoughts and prayers for Cam Ward. Let's hope he's able to put something together here.
Yes.
And Patriots 42, Panthers 13. Big win for the Patriots. I know it's been a challenging season for them, and yet they did okay. So, meanwhile for the Panthers, Andy Dalton came in to replace Bryce Young. So it's got to be kind of rough. And
a lot of QB controversies already kind of happened. A lot of switching around and some changes happening already. We're only at week 4 now, so there's a lot of questions that need to be answered.
Right, but certainly Drake May looked okay. 2 touchdown passes, ran in for another. Now I got to give credit to the Panthers coach Dave Canales taking responsibility for the loss. Basically, kind of saying, "I'm the common denominator." He's not pointing fingers; he's taking the responsibility. I think you got to give him some credit for that.
Absolutely,
but,
that's the goal as a leader on the team. I mean, that's your job it's your job to get these guys ready, and put the right people in place. So
absolutely,
I think for me, I played football, and I know how it goes.
Yeah,
when you're not good as a team, it has to start from the top. And it's the coaches that typically hold themselves accountable, and then they say, "Hey, listen, but you also need to do your job," and so.
Yeah.
So the blame always gets passed around. But as a coach, you have to hold yourself accountable and say, "I didn't have these guys ready."
Right. And so credit to Dave for saying that. Yeah. But let's talk a little bit about the Falcons against the Commanders. Falcons 34, Commanders 27.
Yeah.
Bijan Robinson had a career high, 181 yards from scrimmage. That was pretty impressive, right? Michael Penix Jr. Threw his first touchdown passes this season to Drake London and Kyle Pitts. And now the Commanders, of course, are playing without Jaden Daniels, and that's been a challenge for them, certainly. Marcus Mariota threw for 156 yards and an interception, but he did manage 2 touchdowns.
Right.
And
he did have a solid game, and he was able. He scrambled too a little bit. He didn't look the same as he did last week. Yeah. But it wasn't an overall bad game. Yeah. We just were going up against a different opponent, different environment. Atlanta they're a decent team, and Penix had a great game. Yep. And Bijan had a great game. Yeah. And it's hard. Bijan is obviously, him. He's one of the top backs in the league. Sure. It's hard to stop him. And our D-line had a lot of struggles to get him down to the ground. So we're back to the drawing board, but hopefully we're planning for Jaden Daniels to be back. We're looking at him coming back possibly next week. So
let's hope.
We'll see if he's back. He's supposed to be getting the start against, I want to say they're going, I believe it might be Chargers next.
I'll check that out.
But so we'll see what happens. But I wanted to mention too that Kyle Pitts, he has been everyone's been waiting for him to kind of have this game. It's like he's so versatile at his position, his size, and is just dynamic. Right. he finally got his touchdown, and you could see the emotion when he was celebrating in the end zone. He was very emotional, like he finally got that breath of fresh air to just get that, get that touchdown, have that big moment. So that was a good moment for Atlanta. Even as a Skins fan, as a Washington fan.
Yes,
I have to give that over. I got to give that to them. That was good for them.
Props to Atlanta. I mean, I'm sure they wanted to prove themselves after last week's 30-0 loss against the Panthers. I mean, that was kind of embarrassing, right?
Very embarrassing.
Yeah. So they got back on track. And the Thursday night game, Seahawks beating Arizona 23-20. Sam Darnold, 18 of 26 for 242 yards and a touchdown. He even ran for 24 yards to set up a touchdown that put Seattle up 14-3 at the halftime. Kyler Murray finished with his lowest adjusted QBR this season at 27.8. He finished 27 of 41 for 200 yards passing, but 2 interceptions on throws to Marvin Harrison Jr. didn't help. So that was kind of rough.
Was rough. Yeah. I want to say he threw that last pick going for. I think he was going for Harrison. Right at the end of the game.
Yeah.
That was their chance.
That's right.
And he blew it. That was it.
Yeah. Unfortunate, but you were saying the Bucs are going to be playing in Seattle, right?
Oh yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. We'll see.
Seattle looks they're doing pretty decent right now.
Yeah.
They're stringing off some wins.
Yep.
Typically, I feel like I think they've been having some offensive line issues. They're going against Arizona.
Yeah.
So a little bit different. Arizona has not shown to be a great football team yet.
Yeah.
I think with this next game, it's going to be a different test.
Yeah.
And Seattle, maybe a little more consistency. We'll figure out really what type of team they are.
Right. Definitely. And certainly a good test for the Bucs as well. So I guess we'll see what happens there.
Yeah.
And another interesting one, the Bears beating the Raiders 25-24. Josh Blackwell blocking a 54-yard field goal attempt by Daniel Carlson in the final minute to preserve the fourth quarter rally led by Caleb Williams and the Bears, right?
Yep.
That was an interesting one.
Yeah.
And we were talking
a couple of blocks.
Yeah. And speaking of field goals, let's talk about the Cowboys and the Packers, 40-40 tie.
Man,
that was something. What were your thoughts about that one?
I did catch a lot of the game.
Yeah.
Especially the end.
Yep.
And I'm growing up being a Washington fan. I'm not a Dallas fan.
Yeah, no.
So that was always our rivals, our
right.
long time hated rivals.
Yeah.
But so I was kind of rooting the other way, but it really was a shootout. I mean, they're just scoring left and right. There wasn't I think towards the end of it, and even when they went into overtime, it was like they both got what they wanted, and you just kind of expected that maybe Green Bay would just kind of take over and just finish that game off because they've been prone to finishing those games.
Yeah.
And Dallas has had so many moments where they've kind of crumbled in the moment and they just somehow gave up the big play.
Yep.
And I was kind of hoping for that too, secretly. But it didn't happen. And, Green Bay, I thought the last play was the most interesting because it was just bad clock management. I mean, they were right there and they only had, I think, maybe 8 seconds on the clock. So Love is trying to hurry him up to get to the line. Yeah. And then of course, even at the line, I'm thinking, you know what? Maybe they're just going to spike it, just end the game at that point. Let's just get our time to just kick the football. Let's at least just get a tie.
Right.
And they tried to go to the end zone, and I'm like, hey, look, that's a little bit too late. And it was like kind of a deep throw. This isn't like a direct pass to someone to get in the end zone. So that was super risky. There was still somehow a second on the clock. And they ended up having enough time to kick that field goal and to tie that game up. So very close. It was almost a loss.
Yes.
That would have been a disaster. Like
right.
Disaster of the entire weekend. Yeah. Would have been that play right there.
Yeah, I mean, it was something. I mean, now the good news is Micah Parsons returning from his injury to play his former team, of course.
And I didn't say they risked a potential penalty.
Yeah.
Because if you're running up to the line that fast, a lot of times there's some sort of a penalty that'll have a runoff associated. There's no timeouts.
Right.
So if they would have had a penalty, it would have been over anyway. So that was another thing I wanted to add to that. Just
absolutely
very bad coaching decision in that moment.
Right.
Luckily, they were able to sneak out of there with a tie.
Yeah. I mean, Jordan Love did finish with 337 passing yards and 3 touchdown passes.
Yeah.
And Josh Jacobs, 2 rushing touchdowns to go along with his 86 yards rushing,
Yep.
and 4 catches for 71 yards as well.
Yeah.
George Pickens, 8 catches for 134 yards and 2
Pickens had a great
touchdowns.
game.
He looked good.
A couple drops,
right?
But he had a
Yeah.
great, some amazing catches.
And Dak Prescott, with 319 yards, 3 touchdowns. And you got to give some props to Brandon Aubrey and Brandon McManus, the kickers for Dallas and for Green Bay, because some of those field goals are kind of what kind of made the game end up the way that it did, I guess. But
some clutch kicking. For sure.
some clutch kicking, definitely. They both looked okay with the kicking. But, I guess the first tie of the season, 40-40. Cowboys-Packers. Now, tonight we got a couple of games. We got the Jets and the Dolphins. Now, the good news is someone is going to walk away with the first win of the season. I don't know which team it's going to be, but both teams, 0-3 for both of them. So Justin Fields is returning from concussion protocol, and the game will be kicking off at 7:15 in just a few moments from now. You have any thoughts about that one? What do you think is going to happen?
Not really.
It's hard to get a read on either team this season.
Honestly, I wasn't
right?
planning. I'm going to catch some of it.
Yeah.
But wasn't too excited. Wasn't too excited
Yeah.
for the game. Wasn't too excited.
Look, I'm hoping.
Miami,
Yeah.
They're playing in Miami.
Yes.
Whenever I
Yes.
see these types of games, the Jets could win it.
Yes.
But I'm just going to take the home team. I'm just
Right.
going to go with Miami.
Yeah.
I'm just going to take. Look, that's also a Florida team. We got to
support.
We got to support our Florida
That's
teams,
right. That's right.
Let's see if Miami can get a win.
It's been a little rough for the Dolphins, but they got some great talent. Just a matter of Tua and maybe Tyreek putting things together.
Put some things together. And if I had to bet on it, I'm going to take them. I'm probably going to take. My guess here is it's going to be 20. I'm going to say 24 to 18.
Okay, that's what your crystal ball is saying.
That's my crystal
okay,
ball.
Very good, very good. And of course, the other game tonight. There is a second Monday night game tonight at 8:15. The Bengals taking on the Broncos. That could be interesting.
In Denver too.
In Denver. So now, of course, the Bengals are still without Joe Burrow.
Yep.
Broncos have Bo Nix, so it'll be an interesting one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and Bengals are still 2-1.
Right.
Broncos only with 1 win still,
Right.
but I'm gonna take the home team also. I think Denver. Bo Nix. I think they're gonna come out and have a good game.
We'll see what happens at Mile High, I guess, tonight.
Let's see.
Absolutely. And a couple of other bits of news we'll just kind of pass on briefly here. The NFL announced that they are playing 3 games in Rio de Janeiro over the next 5 years, starting in 2026. And also in 2026, the first game ever to be played in Australia will be taking place. So that's kind of exciting news if you haven't already heard about that. So stay tuned. I'm sure we'll have more news related to those games coming up. And with that, let's take a quick little break. We'll be back after these messages.
I'm not picking it up. You pick it up.
I'm not picking it up.
Well, somebody's got to pick it up.
I'll pick it up. They're clean. Cause my hand is clean. Oh yeah, I'm Charmin clean. That's how I know they're clean.
Charmin Ultra Strong is woven like a washcloth and just cleans better.
Yeah, I'm Charmin clean.
The kid does have a
That's
point.
My hand is clean.
Enjoy the go with Charmin. And for an extra clean finish, try Charmin Flushable Wipes.
At Duke Energy, we deliver electricity and so much more, like free home energy assessments, rebates for energy-saving improvements, payment options to help you better manage your budget, and even bill credits for helping the community use less energy. So no matter what you're doing, we can help you make better energy choices every day. It's just another way we bring power to your life. How much can you save?
And we are back with the FNN Sports Zone. I'm Mike Brodsky.
And I'm Jermaine Kimbrough.
And we're going to talk a little bit about NBA. Today, of course, was the Orlando Magic Media Day. I had the privilege of being there at the training center, the Advent Health Training Center for that Media Day. And I got to tell you, the vibe was pretty positive. I think a lot of the players and the coaching staff are very excited about this upcoming season. They've had a couple of key additions to the team with Desmond Bane coming on board, as well as the signing of Tyus Jones. We've got rookies Jace Richardson and Noah Penda. So everyone's very positive. Everyone's very positive about the Magic's prospects for the season. I think everyone kind of assumes they're going to be in the postseason, and then it's just a question of how deep they can go, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you about that. About how exactly that went. What were some of your takeaways from this?
I think just that positive vibe. I think everyone just really felt like this is the year. This is the year things are really going to come together. I mean, they made it to the postseason the last couple of years, but just didn't get very far.
Right.
So I think this year they really feel that if they can stay healthy, if they can keep the injuries away, they're going to look good. I mean, they're still kind of dealing with Jalen Suggs and Mo Wagner are not completely 100% back. They've certainly recovered from their injuries. They're starting to get out there and play a little bit. And you got to get the strength back. Yeah. So it's going to take some time. So they're not going to be available on day one, but they're almost ready. They're just going through the process of getting back onto the court. And if the rest of the team can stay healthy, I think they've got a lot of potential. So I did have some great opportunities to get a lot of good questions into the players. We'll continue to post this up on social media. But I believe Corey Williams is in the back here for us at FNN Sports Zone. I think you got a clip from today's press conference. One of the questions I got a chance to ask of Desmond Bane. Can you roll that clip, Corey, for us? Mike Brodsky, Florida National News. As you've been getting settled in here in the Orlando area, are there any particular tourist attractions you've discovered in Central Florida? Any restaurants that you've enjoyed visiting? Anything that you'd sort of recommend to others?
Yeah, we've done a decent bit. We looked for a home in Winter Park and other areas, so we spent some time in Winter Park. Been to Icon Park. My family's been to Disney. Ate over a couple restaurants on Sand Lake. So yeah, we've been around, and my family's settling in great, loving it. The school's been great for my son, so no complaints. A little hot, that's it. A little hot.
So, of course, as you can see, Desmond Bane sharing some of the experiences that he's had here in Central Florida, and also commenting on the heat. The heat in Florida.
It's hot.
But it gets hot. It gets hot here. There's no question. You experienced it out in Tampa.
Yep.
But a lot of other clips that we'll be posting up on social media. So stay tuned, of course, to our Facebook pages, our Instagram channels. Follow Florida National News on Instagram, Florida Sports Channel on Instagram, and also, of course, on Facebook. Right. You can find Florida National News and some of our other channels as well.
Yeah, and
but
the website as well.
And the website, FloridaNationalNews.com, of course. Right. So, a lot of great questions that we'll be posting up over the next couple of days here. But just in general, I think look, it's going to be the beginning of a big season for the Magic. Now that the season actually begins on Saturday, they're heading down to Puerto Rico for their first game preseason game against the Heat. And it's the first game that's been played in Puerto Rico in 19 years, actually. Wow. The NBA has not played in Puerto Rico since 2006. And a couple of other it's big. And one of the other topics that we were talking about at the media day today was the two games that they're playing in Europe, both in Berlin and in London. And that was a big topic, of course, with Mo Wagner and Franz Wagner and Tristan da Silva all kind of just coming back after winning the Eurobasket gold medal for Germany. And they're very excited to get back to Berlin.
That's bringing it back, right?
Bringing it back. And then, of course, the London games will be exciting. But, and even for, I got a chance to even ask players like Goga about his thoughts about the NBA, as well as Franz and Mo, their thoughts about the NBA playing in Europe. Yeah. So I'll be sure to post those videos up on social media as well. And I
was going to mention, too, Bane, that's a huge pickup. I noticed once I saw that, I was like, okay, you got that additional shooting that you're looking for, that you really need.
Yes.
Especially in the postseason.
Right.
That's the goal right there.
Yeah.
Bane is he's such a lethal shooter, and he comes through in those big moments. Mm-hmm. So he could be that extra closing piece for you. And so I'm looking forward to it. I'm really excited. I'm excited to see the new look Magic, and
definitely,
this Orlando team. Yeah. They've been good the last few years.
Yes.
They've been very good.
Yes.
Just kind of can't get over that hump, get through that first round.
Right.
So let's see what happens.
Yeah, Bane is obviously, he can shoot, as long as he keeps shooting the way he's been shooting in the past, and he's still young. He's he's got a long career ahead of him, and he may just be the piece that we needed to kind of pair up with Paula, with Franz, and Jalen and everybody else. But it's exciting to have him on the team. And we had to give up, Contavious Caldwell-Pope and Cole Anthony, a few draft picks for him. It's worth it. Spain is a rock star, and he's happy to be here, and he's excited about playing with the Magic. So I think we got a great chance for the Magic to go deep into the playoffs, hopefully.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree. Let's see what happens.
Let's see. We stay tuned for more. And let's jump over to college football. It was sort of an interesting weekend. I know we were talking last week about the FSU Virginia game. I know you must be happy with the result. I think a lot of our viewers are very disappointed with the result.
Yes.
But you have any comments about that game?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Virginia fan.
Yeah.
I'm from Virginia area. But, so I'm all about my area, the whole DMV and, DC, Maryland, Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
And I was actually a Hokies fan growing up, a Virginia Tech fan. But I rooted for any Virginia team, especially going up against all my other schools there.
Yeah. So
between my Virginia teams and Penn State, those are my two, my main colleges I watched. I was happy about the game.
Mm-hmm.
It was a crazy just thriller. I mean, back and forth, a lot of suspense. A good friend of mine was betting on the FSU game, so he bet on FSU to win.
Yeah,
and so he wasn't too happy, like a lot of the viewers. So he not an FSU fan, but that night he was. So he really wanted them to win. That didn't work out. So shout out to him. So hopefully his next bet will work out for him.
That's right. Hopefully luck falls in his favor the next time around. But yeah, I mean, 46-38 in a double overtime victory. Virginia beating FSU. We're sorry, Seminoles fans, but kind of pushed FSU down in the rankings. But now it's going to be interesting because the next game is going to be against the Miami Hurricanes, of course. Now, the Miami had a bye this week. They didn't play. And Saturday night at 7:30, Miami will be playing FSU. And that's going to be a real test for both teams, right?
Yeah, for both teams. Great.
For both teams. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, FSU's got to prove that, hey, it wasn't just a fluke.
Right.
We're a good team. And Miami, of course, they've had a great season so far, and they got to prove that, like, we really do belong in the playoffs, in the postseason. So, both teams are going to be
in Miami, I believe, right?
The game is in Miami, so so it's going to be a tough one for both teams. For both teams. Yeah. But and we were talking a little bit about some of the other upsets this weekend. We had Alabama knocking off Georgia 24-21. That was something. I mean, it snapped Georgia's home win streak at 33 games, which had been the longest in college football. But what were your thoughts about that one? I mean,
yeah, I just thought it was a huge game. I was so tied up watching the game. LSU game.
Right.
I was kind of tied up on all the other ones, but I was, to be honest, I did take Georgia. I thought Georgia was going to win this game.
Right.
And it was a surprise too after Alabama's earlier loss.
Mm-hmm.
We weren't sure what to see at that first game, the first season.
Right.
First game of the season.
Yep.
Not having Saban as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I was surprised.
Yes.
I really was. And Alabama looked great from the start of the game. They
looked
great.
Yeah.
They were up early, I believe.
I think so. Yeah. And
they led quite a bit of the game, but there was kind of a back and forth towards the end.
Yes.
And they pulled it off. I mean, they were celebrating for sure in Tuscaloosa.
Absolutely. And certainly the fact Tuscaloosa. Tuscaloosa. That's here locally.
I got the
Tusca right. So but no, I mean, obviously it was a great game. And anytime those two teams go head to head, it's going to be a battle.
Yes.
I mean, they both have something to prove, and it was quite a game.
Yeah.
A couple of other interesting upsets. I mean, we were talking about Oregon upsetting Penn State, right?
Yeah.
30-24, also in double overtime. That was another one that was kind of a surprise.
Yeah.
And Ole Miss.
I was sad about that game.
Really? Yeah. It was kind of a surprise. I mean,
Happy Valley was. They were really feeling like they were going to be back in that game.
Yeah.
So, but one of those situations, quarterback threw a pick, and it was tough. And he's been getting a lot of, as you would expect.
Yeah.
He was getting some harsh words. Coming from the fans and also in the media.
Yeah.
He's been struggling with answering some of those questions.
Sure.
So, but we'll see if they can bounce back. They got a tough schedule. I mean, they're obviously top 10 team. You're gonna have a tough.
Oh yeah.
So we'll see what happens going forward. And even Coach Franklin, he's had to answer to it too.
Yeah.
And the play calling too. There were some questionable play calls there at the end of the last drive of the game.
Right.
It is what it is. I mean, it's double overtime. I mean, it's anybody's game.
Yeah.
They still had to get down the field, score, plus get the 2-point conversion.
Right.
So Oregon just played a solid game.
Absolutely. So, we'll see how this all plays out over the course of the season in terms of how it shakes up the playoffs. But Ole Miss upsetting LSU 24-19. Ohio State, not a surprise, beating Washington on the road 24-6. Notre Dame finally waking up a little bit and beating Arkansas 56-13 this weekend. Now, the Gators didn't play, but they're going to be facing Texas and Arch Manning on Saturday at 3:30 after their bye week.
That's a big one.
And that's going to be huge for them, right? It's going to be a good test for the Gators. I know Gators fans are ready to get rid of the coach, but, at the same time, look, Arch Manning we've already seen he can theoretically be beaten. So maybe the Gators really push and beat Texas this week. We'll see what happens. We've also UCF lost to Kansas State Saturday, 34-20. Tough loss. USF still 3-1. Interesting news out of Oklahoma State with them firing Coach Mike Gundy after 20 years. That was kind of a surprise to see him go. So
I saw that update come up.
Yeah, that was kind of sad, but I'm sure he'll land somewhere. Yeah, I mean, someone else will take him on, I'm sure, and give him an opportunity. But yeah, I mean that's the game of college football these days, right? I mean, it's the teams do not tolerate losing for long.
Right.
Yeah.
It can be brutal for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's jump over to Major League Baseball just for a moment. Of course, we're heading into the postseason. A couple of bits of news. We were talking about Cal Raleigh last week. Well, let's talk a little bit about him. He did manage to finish with 60 home runs. Only the seventh player in history to hit 60 home runs, following up on Babe Ruth, Roger Maris, Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, Barry Bonds, Aaron Judge, and now, of course, Cal Raleigh, adding his name to the list.
That's a nice list right there.
It's a pretty good list, absolutely. So congrats to Cal Raleigh, an amazing season. For a catcher to have that many home runs is just unheard of, right? Just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And you got to give credit to the Cleveland Guardians' historic comeback. They were the first team ever to overcome a deficit of 15 and a half games and taking the lead in either division or league play. In 1914, you had the Boston Braves that were 15 games back in the National League on July 4th and then rallied to win by 10 and a half games. But since division play began in 1969, the biggest deficit overcome was the 1978 Yankees to win the American League East. Of course, Red Sox fans still have a certain name for Bucky Dent, right? But so congrats to the Guardians. It's amazing. It's amazing to have that kind of a comeback.
Wow.
So as a result, we got the wild card that starts tomorrow. You've got the Tigers playing the Guardians at 1 p.m. You've got the Padres playing the Cubs at 3. The Red Sox and the Yankees, they always seem to go head-to-head. They're going to be playing at 6, and the Reds and the Dodgers at 9. And then, of course, the winners of those games, the wild card games, will go on to the wild card series, I should say, will go on to the division series, facing the Blue Jays and the Mariners in the American League and the Phillies and Brewers in the National League. And let's talk a little bit about golf. I know, normally we don't, you don't expect to see what we saw this weekend in the Ryder Cup, right? We were talking a little bit about this earlier, but the Ryder Cup, I mean, fans were behaving like you would see at a football game, right? I mean, it was just craziness. You had,
because typically there's that kind of respect for the game,
sure,
the game of golf, and,
right? The old golf clap, everyone's very calm and mellow, usually for the most part.
A little more class and some
typically,
yeah,
but
yeah, not this time.
Not this time.
Yeah, tell us about that.
Yeah, I mean, Bethpage, New York, you had, the team, by the way, Team Europe, just to give you the ending, Team Europe did end up beating Team America. The Americans were making what could have been an epic comeback, but they fell a little bit short. But, I mean, over the weekend, just a lot of craziness. I mean, you had, the fans were loud, they were rude. A fan threw a drink that hit Rory McIlroy's wife. So, I mean, Rory was like swearing at fans. I mean, it's stuff that you just don't normally see on the golf course. It doesn't usually happen. Crazy. So I don't know if it's because it was in New York, if that was the reason, or if it's just fans.
I made that comment earlier. I'm not saying that all New Yorkers are crazy, but I could see that there's maybe some craziness going on in there. Maybe that's part of it.
I don't know. It was just the fact that it was, teams. Normally, golf is typically an individual sport. If you're a live golf fan, teams involved, obviously.
Yeah, but the American versus,
Team US versus Team Europe. I guess it got pretty heated. So, I mean, I don't know if that's a trend that we're going to see, or if it was just kind of a one-time thing, or if you have, and then again, what is it?
Some popular people there too, though. You mentioned.
Oh, of course, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, Scotty Scheffler looked good. You had, Rory McIlroy playing well. Yeah. I mean, you had all-stars. I mean, all-stars on both sides. Both teams looked great, but I think the fans really were the story. I mean, the fan behavior was not what you would normally see on a golf course. That's for sure. But let's talk about NASCAR a little bit. Chase Elliott winning at Kansas Speedway. He drove from 8th place to the checkered flag during a 2-lap overtime, earning a spot in the third round of NASCAR's playoffs. Denny Hamlin looked like he was going to win. He finished second, though, because Chase Elliott kind of managed to pull off that victory in there. Next week, you're going to be heading to Concord, North Carolina, where the field will be cut from 12 drivers down to 8. And looks like the 4 that are in danger of getting cut could be Ross Chastain, Austin Cindric, Tyler Reddick, and Bubba Wallace. So stay tuned. If you're a NASCAR fan, we'll see what happens over there. And, of course, WNBA. Are you paying attention to all the WNBA? Been watching this a little bit?
Did, actually.
Did you see some of that?
Some of that,
yep.
Yeah. It was the
Fever and the Aces.
The Aces.
Yes.
I watched that Aces Fever game.
Yeah.
And it was close up until the final quarter, up to the fourth quarter. And then Aces pulled away. Yeah. They pulled away for the victory. The away victory, too. I mean,
yes.
No Caitlin Clark, obviously.
Yeah.
They don't have that closer to really just push it over the top. So
well, when you think about Indiana, I mean, the fact that they've been able to play as strongly as they have without Caitlin Clark on the court is pretty impressive.
Already impressive.
And, so the Fever and the Aces, the series is tied 2-2. You've got Game 5 on Tuesday in Vegas. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. Either way, whoever wins, they're going to be facing the Phoenix Mercury in the finals. So best of luck to both teams. Of course, Phoenix beating the Minnesota Lynx. But it should be an interesting series for WNBA fans. I mean, certainly they're getting a lot more attention because of Caitlin Clark, even though she's not playing right now because of her injury. But great to see that they're getting some attention and some love finally.
On from the sideline. So
she is.
You get to get a few clips here and there, but that's about it. No real basketball happening.
Right. So that's right.
We'll see what happens, though.
Absolutely. So with that, any other highlights that you wanted to cover for this week in sports?
You know what? Not too much.
Okay.
Not too much. I will say that I'm definitely I got some coverage with the Bucks.
Yep.
And it was good. I was able to interview. I was with the press in the press conference, and I got to get a good question with Coach.
Oh, good. Todd Bowles.
Todd Bowles. And I got a good question with him, and just asking about rookie Ibuka, and he commented that he's been great throughout.
Yeah.
Not only back when he was back in college, but he's been so consistent. When he came in, he was ahead, basically. What he's trying to say, and that he's been doing a great job. So they're really excited for potential rookie of the year. They came up short, but they're definitely positive. Baker was at the podium. He also mentioned he didn't want to talk too much about that throw.
Yeah,
he was pretty upset with himself, but he really just was trying to move forward. You could tell. So we'll see which Baker we get next week. And I also got to get I got a little bit of coverage too with got some questioning in with Chris Godwin. He had his first game back in almost a year since he's played. So he was rusty, like we said, but he's ready to kind of knock some of the rust off and get going. So, it was a good experience to be back in Tampa at Raymond James again, being back around everybody there and just being able to just be, back in that moment of being in the stadium again.
Absolutely.
So, but I think the questioning, how they get, they're kind of vultures with those questions. So you got to be ready to go. And I realized, I'm like, you know what? I could have been a little bit more ready. So now I'm going to be more in the zone next time to get some more. I have more questions ready.
Good.
I wasn't ready. So,
okay.
That's what I was looking forward to next time. So definitely more coverage coming for the next game, next home game.
Yep.
And same for you.
Well, that's true.
Maybe you get a little bit more from Hunter too.
Yes, I know. Travis Hunter has been a challenge to get him to crack and give us some good sound bites. I think they've been cutting him. He's been cutting himself off, I think, in terms of what he hasn't been quite as colorful with his commentary. But I mean, certainly, I will say that the Magic were very open about answering my questions, so I certainly appreciate that. I'll keep posting some of those, but certainly be sure to check out on Instagram as well as on Facebook, Florida National News, for more of the questions that you were asking over the weekend. I know they're up there.
They're up there,
right?
Yeah.
And I'm still going to be posting in the next day or so. We'll have all the other questions coming up from the Orlando Magic players. And next Monday, I will be in Jacksonville covering the Jaguars. So for Monday Night Football against the Chiefs. So I do apologize. I'm going to be missing FNN Sports Zone next Monday night. But I know you'll be handling the show.
Yeah, I'll be here, and we may have either a guest or we might have another host in your place. So we'll see. It's going to be a little bit of a change up.
That's right. New faces for next week's episode. But we want to thank you for joining us on FNN Sports Zone this week, and stay tuned for Florida National News for more. And once again, I'm Mike Brodsky.
And I'm Jermaine.
We'll see you next time.